If over 100k people showed up to the Area 51 raid, with a legitimate goal of breaching the defenses, what do you think would happen? A low-flying helicopter kicks up dust and scares everyone off. Most people will forget to bring enough water and be generally unprepared to walk for miles in the desert. The ones who make it the farthest will easily be arrested due to their low numbers. It's a bunch of people in the hot, dry desert, with less logistical support than the fire festival, trying to Naruto run across tens of miles. Emergency search and rescue services would spend the first couple days retrieving people in varying degrees of heat exhaustion, dehydration, and extreme sunburn. They would spend the next couple of months retrieving the rest of the corpses. Hospitals would be full all over the state. The survivors would mostly end up arrested, save possibly for those who didn't even make it to the sign. Base security would get a nice workout, though. Fill Area 51 with props and fake evidence of aliens. Have no live guards in the base, only basic fake automated defenses firing blanks. Let people rush it and be in awe when they storm the facility and find all of this stuff. Then have a hologram of Ashton Kutcher displayed in the sky telling them they were punked. They would probably use tear gas or other riot control methods. There will be razor fences too. The enforcement I mean. Nothing good. With 100k people, it's practicality a certainty that somebody is stupid enough to bring a gun. They either get detained and arrested or killed if gosh forbid some lunatic brings a gun. Part of me kinda hopes something happens, and the base does some obnoxiously insane spit to troll people. Like do some crazy helicopter lights projections or some crazy noises or whatever for the lol. A giant garage door on base open. Out walks an AT-AT to the killing fields. The aliens that support the US Gov will just zap them all back to their homes and amp. They wake up with memories of a weird dream and a feeling of having been probed. People seem to forget that you can just show up to Area 51. The security zone starts so far away it is actually completely impossible to reach the actual facility. Guarantee you the second any of the military fire a single bullet everyone starts running away. Of all the things that's not gonna happen this year, this is not gonna happen the most. Half will sleep in because their moms forget to wake them and the other half will chicken out. If they do breach the fences and get close enough, they will probably use those high-pitched sound devices and tear gas. If that doesn't stop, they will probably start shooting if they get even closer. They will only need to shoot like a handful before everyone scatters back. When is this dumb spit supposed to happen? I'll need to plan ahead to buy popcorn. So I recall a bunch of 90s videos and stuff of Area 51. There is no path they can take that won't set off the guards. They have cameras and other equipment that create an invisible barrier. https://www.nationalgeographic.com.au/area-51-the-sire-secrets/area-51-security-perimeters-3357.aspects. If any of the knuckleheads survive the trek to the base, what do they expect? Unlocked doors? Bob Laser mentioned some of the security protocols inside the base. There is no way they could get past it to do anything. They would realize how the 300 Spartans held off the entire Persian army. The thing is, everyone has memed about the raid so much that there is literally no way the government doesn't know. It's gonna fail mayo. There is not an entrance that says welcome to Area 51 with a base a few km behind the gate. That base is in the middle of Nevada where even in September it is fudging hot. The gates are tens of kms from the actual facility. So imagine 100k neckbeard redditors with their Doritos and Mountain Dew trying to get through the high country scrub for 10-20 kms in the heat. Yeah, I am laughing also. They find Harambe and Tupac and break them out. Military member here. They're going to have the local police and sheriffs there, as well as their own defenses. Basically piling up around any and all entries. Using less than lethal devices. And ready to use lethal. If this goes down it's not going to be pretty. They're not just going to let you walk on by. Best case is a large gathering happens in front of the base where they get a bunch of publicity and illuminate some information withheld from the general populace. Everything remains peaceful and nobody gets hurt. Population control. Nothing China style. If I was the base commander, I'd put up a few big tents in front of the entry, stock them up with food, drinks, resting places and make it a big happening. Have a few of the tents with info about the military, scientific discoveries with devices that were tested there, just in general some cool stuff, presentations, maybe roll out some of the old declassified spy planes. Basically an Area 51 con. Everyone who went out there could come back with a cool story and wouldn't really need to do stupid stuff. Darwin happens. Not a single person who signs a Facebook meme meetup will be able to run the near 15 miles from no trespass signs to the base in the middle of the boiling barren wasteland. Realistically nobody will even get within eyeshot of the base. Depends on how many weebs and endermen can arrive on time. Me. They're going to get owned by non-lethal countermeasures, the ARD, the USW, the A2/AD, and the sticky foam. My brother, nah, the army will just go old school, electric fence, tear gas, rubber bullets. Me, oh yeah I forgot about those. People who think the US gov't is dumb enough to hide anything in the most well-known secret base in the world. If even 10,000 people show up, the authorities will close the roads leading to Nellis AFB Area 51 way out in the desert. For every person who is absolutely willing to jump a fence on the assumption that airmen will not shoot down a crowd, there are hundreds of people who are going to take one look at a dozen state troopers manning a roadblock more than a day's walk through the desert of where they want to be who will not give law enforcement a reason to arrest them. However big this thing might be, if 100 people actually make it inside the perimeter before they're arrested, I'd be surprised. I'm going to bring a lawn chair and video camera and make myself YouTube famous watching all of you idiots get tased. Light 'em up. But jokes aside, every country in the world would have a spy mixed in that 100k. A breach is not an option. I'm sure they have some pretty hefty doors on that base. I'd say they'd just close them. Also barricade the perimeter and use anti-riot equipment and crowd control techniques. Buddy, the name of the event is They Can't Stop All of Us. Yes, they can. 100,000 teenagers will stroll into the meat grinder. Guards overwhelmed by the amount of people and open the gates, and they tear the wall down, and Germany is reunified. Wait, wrong one. We get that alien coochie. Fortunate Son will play the first 10 minutes of Saving Private Ryan. Honestly, if 100,000 people showed up and actually broke the fence down, I assume they would be mowed down with automatic fire. You know, what normally happens to a group of people that forcefully breach a military installation. Given the fact that a guy tried a while back and they shot him dead, I would not be surprised if lethal force was authorized in the last 200 yards or so. An overall increase in the collective IQ of our nation? If I were the military, I would just have a nice BBQ waiting. Turn it into a silly little PR stunt. It's almost like Take Your Kid to Work Day except for degenerates who should be taking their kids to work. It really depends on how the military responds. And something tells me there will be a big difference between online support and actual participants. I think after the first person gets shot with whatever projectile, people will reevaluate whether they really want to know what's in there or if they were just in it for memes selfies. Obviously the US military would use the Illudium Q-36 explosive space modulator, and it would result in an earth-shattering kaboom. Tiananmen Square to Electric Boogaloo. Bum rush Area 51. One person gets shot. 499,999 retreat. Once people storm and start seeing their friends cut down, they will realize the gravity of the situation and run away. There will be a media spitstorm and then the media will start pushing an agenda revolving around why military installations need to be accessible to the public for transparency reasons or something. Americans, I have the right to bear arms! Exclamation point. The US military, go ahead Butch. We have RC drones and RC tanks. This will be a great weapons testing opportunity. Educated observers, well, what the fudge did you expect? Exclamation point. Simply put, they wouldn't make it past the gate alive. A bunch of unqualified people going head to head with the United States Air Force. Unless they had a real alien in the back of their truck. Breaking news: hundreds of casualties and thousands injured at Area 51 massacre. Here's some footage from a live stream filmed there. Warning: this footage is graphic. They'll keep tabs on people coming close to the base and easily figure out who all plans to go there for the meme. They'll easily find a more diplomatic way to prevent the issue beforehand instead of just killing a bunch of people. They'll want to use this as an opportunity to show us how professional they are and how unlikely it is that random civilians are just gonna waltz in there, or even get close to it. Maybe 5,000 people will show up over the course of the day, tops. Probably much less than that. There will be roadblocks placed many miles from the main gate. People will drive up, get turned back. At any given moment, the news media will outnumber the raiders. Over the course of the day, a few dozen raiders will pull off to the side of the roadblock. Tailgate party. They'd invade an empty Area 51. Why deal with that? The authorities would pack up and leave them to it. Most of us will not make it if we take in mind that the gate is 15 miles away from the main gate, meaning that we could step on a landmine. But if we use a drone with thermal vision, we can know where the landmines are and we can Naruto run freely. Attire for the raid: red shirt, brown pants. 100k idiots are going to mysteriously vanish. Most of them will get heat stroke. Having worked in a secure environment before, the security does not end at the fence line. Even if they got across the desert, to the fence, over, or through the fence, they still wouldn't see anything. The building itself would be secured and locked down. Hangars would be closed and locked down. Storming the gates wouldn't do anything because the building would be impossible to penetrate. So everyone there is running toward the gate. The guards are like, okay. Then they see Keanu Reeves, The Rock, Chuck Norris, and many people armed with flamethrowers from Elon Musk. Then they fudging spit their pants, and lay down their guns and let everyone in. Then everyone pulls out in a UFO. I don't know, but I wouldn't feel sorry for anyone that gets shot. If you are legitimately that stupid, you deserve what you get. Pew pew pow pow, everybody is dead. No one would reach the defenses. BRRRRRRRRT. The Chad Heavy Infantry and the Florida Man Brigade would push through with the Naruto Cavalry, Kyle Infantry, and New England Clam Chowder Artillery. AC-130 joined the chat. Riot guns, basically non-lethal rock salt shotguns, will be the government's weapon of choice. Part of me hopes they drop napalm and Trump goes on television and says, "You dumb butchers activated my trap card." Dart. People who actually think the US military would cut down thousands of civilians with 50 cals. Jesus Christ. They made it past the fence and were thwarted by a locked steel door and went home. 2 guys climbed a street light and toppled it. 1 civilian vehicle was set on fire. 17 people were hit by beanbag guns. 9 people were hospitalized due to heat exhaustion. 470 girls Snapchatted puffy lip photos with the caption, "Show me the aliens." The skies would probably start speaking A10 Warthog. If they actually do attempt to storm it, the army will have no choice but to fudging obliterate 100,000 suicidal civilians, and obliterate they shall. 100k people go missing. So there are 7.7 billion people in the world. I guess taking out 100,000 wouldn't really do much for overpopulation. There might be a few more parking spaces in the US for a while. You know, silver lining. They can't stop all of us. We should be encouraging this to happen. So many stupid people will die in the process. Our country will be much better off without them. Nothing, like I doubt they would even react. If 0.1% of reports are true, this is the most protected building pretty much in existence. Nothing that a civilian could possibly bring would do spit compared to what would be needed. I don't think there really is anything at Area 51. So even if they got in, they'd be disappointed. If there is a secret hidden base with alien tech, we'd never know its location. Military laughs in 3,000 rounds per minute. Why is every other post about this Area 51 crap? I'm out of the loop. They would smear the fences, barbed wire, and every other wall barrier they have with lube. You can't grab onto, let alone jump over any walls if they are covered in lube. At worst, a few people killed and the rest would flee or be jailed. More than likely just turned around though. From my understanding, there's only way easy way in, which has the road going through it, which has checkpoints from 12 miles out. Other than that, the terrain is really rough and you'll be spotted by helicopters with IR imaging.